Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has changed its guidelines on prescribing opioids. The agency recommending how and when to prescribe the drugs, and as well as the pros and cons of them. Our Chastity Maxey is live, getting a reaction from UAB. Chastity, what are you hearing there?
Well, Sarah, the CDC says this new guidance is a recommendation and not a mandate, and they say it should not be used as a one-size-fits-all solution. In 2016, the CDC recommended doctors drastically reduce the dosage of opioid prescriptions for some patients being treated for pain.
And it emphasized that the dose should not go higher than 90 milligrams of morphine, which is typically a dose that's only reached in someone who's been on them long term.
Dr. Stefan Kerte says the CDC's recommendation did not prohibit the use of opioids for pain treatment, but some doctors and clinicians abruptly changed doses or cut patients off of medications anyway, including patients with cancer, sickle cell, or who were recovering from surgeries. Dr. Kerte says the CDC's recommendation prompted some doctors to force doses down in people who were previously stable on high doses of opioids. He says research shows that led to poor quality of life and suicides.
And these suicides became a pretty prominent issue. The CDC was also aware that a lot of patients were losing access to doctors who were afraid to prescribe. And the CDC came to recognize that a lot of patients who were taken off opioids because of their numbers were turning to the illicit market and getting drugs that were actually more dangerous.
Dr. Kerte says the CDC's new guidance is less rigid and encourages doctors to discuss alternative medications with patients first, as well as offer overdose education for patients who are prescribed daily doses of more than 50 milligrams of morphine.
If we had one treatment that always worked for chronic pain or for any pain, it would be great. But opioids sometimes really are the thing that is helpful, and particularly so when people have very severe pain or when it's long term.
Now, Dr. Kerte says in order for these guidelines to be effective, he says other agencies will also need to change their guidance as well, saying that these guidelines alone are not enough to change doctors' minds. Reporting live, Chastity Maxey, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.